going on there, everybody? So I'm coming at you again with another NECA figure unboxing today. That's really all I've been doing on my channel these past few videos, but so I've been working a lot of hours. So I actually have a Target that I work really close by. So I kind of go in there, pop in there every so often, see their little NECA figure collection that they have, any new figures that come in stock. It's actually pretty nice for me because I usually can manage to get first dibs on a lot of the stuff that comes in. For the most part, they don't really touch the NECA section in this Target very often, so it's not a very popular Target, so that's good for me because I'm able to acquire these figures a little bit more easily. So I've been waiting about a week to see if this Target would actually eventually get these figures in, and to my surprise, they had both the black and white version of this Frankenstein and the colored one. What I was really torn about was which one did I want most. I can't have both because I don't really want both. I was really torn between the black and white one and the colored one. The black and white one, the box art for it is just 10 times cooler. I love the box art for the black and white one. But with this figure, I really like the details, the blood work, and all the details within the colored version. And so that's what kind of, sold me, was the colored version over the black and white version. Now, the black and white version obviously is the more iconic version of Frankenstein, and as you know, NECA is also making the Mummy, the original Mummy figure, Universal's Mummy, so that I'll definitely be picking up too, and I'll probably be picking up the colored version of that one as well. And don't mind my thumb, I smashed the living hell out of it out of my car door, so yeah, I expect to be losing this pretty soon. Yeah, so I picked this guy up. Obviously, these are from the original, some of the original movies that started it all. Well, some of the first movies that started it all with the horror franchise, right? The original Frankenstein, the original Mummy, the original Dracula, the werewolf. I don't know if I'm missing any, but the only movies that I actually own on VHS is the Dracula one, the Mummy, and the werewolf. Those I've owned on VHS because my grandparents actually had them on VHS, so I just took them from her, my grandmother. And anyway, my grandfather actually passed away, which was a lot of his collection of VHS tapes that he owned. And so I decided to inherit them, take them. I haven't even watched them on VHS yet to get that nice little nostalgic quality, but in the future. But yeah, here's the box art for this guy. I had to have him just because, it's Frankenstein. I mean, we've never had a Frankenstein figure in the NECA series collection, at least to my knowledge. I'm actually, I'm not too big of a fan of the original horror movies, like the older ones, like from the 1930s to like the 50s, around that era. I don't really care for a lot of the older ones, but obviously I do appreciate them because that's clearly what started a lot of this. And then the recent serial killers that come out over time, like Ed Gein was obviously, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ed Gein was a big influencer in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series of movies. So there's a lot of serial killers that go into a lot of the horror movies that you see today, are just basically copies of those serial killers. And so obviously, a lot of these newer movies that are coming out are obviously taking from the original movies these days, the ones that have built where we are today, so to speak. Though most modern horror films these days are garbage. I think, in my opinion, the new Halloween movies that are coming out, just like the one that's coming out, I believe, this year in October, Halloween Lives Forever, whatever the fuck it's called, it just looks like trash to me. And, franchises, we all know franchises just take a shit after a while, and they don't do so well when they start making a series of movies such as Halloween or such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, etc. But I don't want to ramble, you get the point. So I'm trying to show you that my appreciation for these movies is there. It's just I don't really care for a whole lot of them, but I do appreciate the aesthetics, the makeup, and everything else that goes in behind a lot of these movies. And so that's why I decided to pick up this figure to show my appreciation for the original movies that started it, some of the first movies that started it all. So here's the packaging in any way. Obviously, I will probably show you what the black and white version of the packaging looks like, but this is basically supposed to look like the VHS movie box art poster, movie poster. So this one's more iconic compared to the black and white one, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they didn't put this one on the black and white one to kind of make it more authentic, but whatever. So that's what the side looks like of the figure. Here's some of the windowed box art on the back, and then you have another different face for him on the side with the Universal Monsters logo. And then if we open him up, this is what the figure looks like inside. I don't know if you can see me back there. So he does come with some alternate heads up there. He's a little bit on the bulky side there. He is double jointed, I believe. No, actually, I don't believe he's double jointed, but I guess we'll find out when we take him out. Wow, considering most of the newer NECA figures these days are actually becoming more double jointed. This one, to my surprise, doesn't look like it is. But he does come with some alternate hands. He has the flowers, the chains. Obviously, again, this is the colored version, so you see a lot of blood detailing, and around the eyes is more black and stuff. And I just think this figure is so much better in colored. Just because of all the paint details that go behind it. If I wanted both, I probably could have had both, but I decided on the colored, obviously. So anyways, guys, we are gonna go ahead and take this guy out of the box, and hopefully in the future I get some kind of a cabinet, because I don't even know where I'm gonna put this guy. Probably gonna put him on my cabinet back here, where I have all my other VHS movies. I think that's probably where he belongs the most. So let's go ahead and unbox him and show you the articulation and everything. All right, so here's what our boy looks like out of the packaging, and yeah, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the sculpt with this figure. He looks a lot like the actor that played as the original Frankenstein. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the sculpt on this guy is probably gotta be one of the best I've ever seen. I tried to get, they had about like 5 of these guys in stock at Target, and I tried to find the one with the best paint decals in terms of the eyes, and I think this one topped it for me. The packaging's a little beat up, but I don't really care as much about the packaging as I do about the figure, because as you know, some NECA figures, the paint details are a little off. Like my Leatherface kind of looks like he's looking up in the corners of the eyes. My Ash kind of looks a little bit derpy. So, and those are because, well, the Leatherface one was purchased online, and so was the Evil Dead one. It just all depends really. But anyways, this figure, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I like the way he kind of looks like he's kind of looking upwards, kind of, you know, I guess deadly. But he has a lot of head rotation. Like he can look way up. Like that's pretty impressive. I think it's because his neck is also jointed, as you can see. As you can see, the neck is also jointed, as well as the head. So I think that's the first NECA figure that I've owned where the neck also has like a ball joint down up in here. So that's pretty nice. The chest is a soft rubbery goods, so that way you can kind of manipulate them however you want while giving it that realism look. Obviously his hand can go in a full 360 rotation. Now as far as the arm, yeah, it's not double jointed. So, I mean, for this particular figure, I guess you don't really need a double joint. However, it would have been nice if NECA included that. I don't know why they didn't, but yes, it is not double jointed. It's kind of weird why they didn't, but the hand can go all the way inwards, full 360, and go outwards like, hey girl. Anyway, no, it's like the, hey, wait, no, there we go. Hey girl, there we go, okay. Enough of that. All right, so same with the other hand. The other one can go in full 360. Hopefully this, okay, cool. So, you know, as we know, a lot of joints on a lot of NECA figures like to break out on and out of the box. So, and then you can kind of, you know, same thing, full 360. Hey girl, all right, so, all right, so as far as the splits, you can do the splits pretty good. His jacket kind of hinders him a little bit, but not too much, so you can almost do the splits. He has these big ass fucking platforms, so he's a really good figure to have stand on his own. I mean, he's kind of tilted and he's still able to stand on his own for the most part. So these platforms that he has are really nice as a base for the figure, so he won't topple over like a lot of my NECA figures like to do. Barely push on my desk and all of them start toppling over. Obviously they have bases and stands to fix that kind of shit, but you know, you get it. So anyways, so as far as sitting, he can sit pretty well actually. Another one of those amazing little details. He does have an ab crunch. I failed to mention that. So he does have a movable torso and an ab crunch. So that's pretty nice. At least it feels like he's got an ab crunch, right? I can't. Yeah, he's definitely got an ab crunch in there somewhere. So can't see it though because I think the jacket's covering it. But I don't want to tear the jacket up in the middle area here. So he can bend the knees. The knees are also not double jointed. They go about that far. He can actually sit pretty well, I'd imagine. Yep, if you wanted him to sit, he could definitely sit. So that's another first. He does have a rubbery good in the cod piece, so it's a little bit rubbery up in here, so it's a little bit manipulable. You can also, you know, kind of make him do the famous, obviously the like zombie look. I mean, that looks bitchin'. I barely even manipulated him, and that just looks absolutely bitchin'. So, I mean, this figure is going to be really awesome to have on my shelf. I am already digging it. I even just might keep him like that. I really love the default poses that he has. But obviously, yeah, that just, it looks amazing. I love this figure. Like, there's not a whole lot to this figure, but it's just the aesthetic of it, the details. This has got to be one of the most detailed figures I've actually ever owned from a NECA figure. And that's saying a lot because most of NECA's figures are pretty well sculpted and pretty well detailed, but this one takes the cake right here. I haven't gone over accessories yet, so let me go ahead and do that. Obviously, he has alternate heads, so let's go over the first one here. So this one's the, let's see. I'd say this one's like the I'm really high right now. I've seen a lot. This is probably going to be the best out of the bunch. I had one where the eyeball was like way up here and it was almost near missing. This is probably going to be the better ones that actually looks really good in the paint. So that's why I got this one, just in case I wanted to swap out the head. Well, the head looks absolutely amazing on that. Here's the nonchalant alternate head, I'd like to call it. Like the he's also kind of looking like he's a bit toasty too, like he's had a few much to drink or had smoked a little too much. So that's those heads there. And then you also got the hands, the alternate hands. So there's that one. That one's for the right hand. This one's to grip the daisies. So this one's more of a gripping type of hand for the left hand. This one is also to grip the daisy bunches, which is for the left hand. And then you have another hand that's supposed to look like he's kind of, you know, lunging forward like he is right now. That's also for the left hand. Then it comes with chains, so you can kind of wrap them around the hands if you wanted to do that. I might do that on my figure, at least make one look like it's coming off of his hand maybe, or together. I haven't really decided yet. I wonder actually how this opens. I know how it works. So basically you don't have to open it. You just take the hands off, put them through, and then close the hands. That's basically how you do it. You pop off the hands, put it through, and then you just close it up. So that's how that works. Here are the daisies. You can barely see them, but they're tiny. Obviously this is the colored one, so it has color in it. So that's for the single one. So if you wanted, you can grab the grippy hand and just kind of, you know, place it in his hand like so. Then you got the daisy bunches here. I don't know if these aren't daisies. I don't even know why I'm calling them daisies. They're more of just like a flower. I'm no God, I can't even think of the name for them. Who does that? That studies plants and shit. But anyways, there you are. You can hold the daisy, I keep saying daisy, the flower bunch in his right hand there. So pretty nice, pretty nice. And that's pretty much it for accessories. He doesn't come with a whole lot, but honestly, the figure speaks for itself. I only paid 30 bucks for him at Target. You go to any other place, a lot of them will charge about 35, 40, just depends on who you get it from. If you can get it from Target, it seems like Target seems to be the cheaper route these days. You get it from if you get a lot of NECA figures from any other type of vendor, they like to just charge like $5 or even $10 more than MSRP. And we keep being told that NECA figures are going up in price by at least $5, but Target hasn't, you know, changed the price accordingly, so they're still $30 at Target. So that's a big plus for us collectors here, if you're trying to save a little bit of money. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the figure, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in my bookshelf where all my VHS tapes are, because I think that's where he best belongs. As is, I'm already full up on room on my desk, and I really need to get a cupboard or some kind of display shelf to put all these figures into, and you know, maybe get some little LED lights that'll light them up and shit, because I'm getting to the point where I'm getting way too many of these guys. Even though I don't really care for the new Halloween movie, I will definitely be getting the new Halloween figure when it releases. And I will probably be getting the Part 7 Jason. I think the Part 7 Jason's on my next list. So if I find Part 7 Jason, that will be my next review. If not, the Michael, if the Michael comes out sooner. I don't even remember when the Michael comes out, but that's besides the point. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And hopefully you guys have a good one. I'll see you later. Peace out.